Hi, my name is Mandy BARDISBANIan, and I am the Vice President of Licensing and Merchandising for Legion M Entertainment. I do anything and everything to do with merchandise here for Legion M. So that entails designing product, manufacturing product, bringing it to life, working with retailers, licensees, and running our e-commerce store as well. I actually grew up on a horse ranch, training horses, doing rodeo, and had zero to do with anything in fashion or merchandising, or even in the world of fandom at all. When I was in high school, I started working at a boutique, a fashion boutique, and I fell in love with fashion. I fell in love with seeing the light on people's faces when they would find a product that they loved. I loved making people feel good with product. And I decided that I wanted to have a career in fashion. I thought I was going to be the next Alexander McQueen and have my own fashion line, but life decided to bring me in a different direction. You know, that's when I also found Harry Potter. And I learned what it was to dive into a different world and to be transported into a universe that I wanted to live in. And I found out what it was to love fictional characters and their stories. And I knew I wanted to do something with that. I went to fashion school. I went to the International Academy of Design and Technology in San Antonio, Texas. And I got a degree in fashion design and merchandising. I did a lot of fashion shows and photo shoots, and at that time still trying to be my own designer. And then when I graduated from college, I moved to Los Angeles with nothing to my name, had $600 in my pocket. And you know, that's a whole other story, but basically I forced my way into the Hot Topic office. And it's a very long story, but I walked in and I said, I can't leave here without a job because I have to work here. And they gave me a job as the receptionist at the Hot Topic corporate office, and I worked my way up from there. So I went from being a receptionist to being an assistant buyer to then being an associate buyer, and then finally being a buyer. And then now I'm with Legion M, and I could not be more proud of what I get to do every single day, and creating extremely fun and exciting and ridiculous at times merch that makes people smile. One of my favorite moments that I can remember being an associate buyer, I was with Hot Topic at the time, and I was visiting stores in some part of the country. We used to go visit stores all the time. I was the beauty buyer at the time, so I was doing eyeshadow palettes and lip products and things like that. So these two young girls walked into Hot Topic, and they go over to the Supernatural section. Supernatural is a TV show about two brothers who fight demons. And they saw the eyeshadow palette that I had just recently designed and came out with. And they looked at it, and they opened it, and then they both started jumping up and down and squealing. I mean, they were just beside themselves with excitement. And that was like a moment I'll never forget, because, you know, we think of this as a business. Of course, it is a business. Of course, we do have bottom lines to think about. But at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're bringing people joy. And there's nothing more fun than that. My love for this world, when it comes to merchandising specifically, is bringing people joy with the things that they love. On a more personal level, you know, my love for fandom and entertainment started with Harry Potter, but it has grown with, you know, Twilight, and with Lord of the Rings, and all these other beautiful stories that transport us to a different world, and helped me as a kid who was bullied and didn't make a lot of friends easily and didn't feel like anybody understood me. You know, that was the place that I could go to feel better and to feel like people did understand me. And that's what I want to keep giving to other people and to kids that are like me. The great thing about Legion M is that we have a community of hundreds of thousands of people that I physically get to talk to on a daily basis, you know, through our Facebook group, through our other channels that we talk to our community members. You know, I get to physically talk to them and get their opinions and hear their suggestions and get their stories all the time. And it's a direct line to the people that I now consider, family in this world of fandom. I'm very spoiled with Legion M because I get to have the feeling of bringing joy to fans as a direct line. What's better than that? Being a woman in any industry is still a challenge, right? No matter what industry we're in, no matter what job we're trying to do, no matter what ladders we're trying to climb, being a woman is tough. And it still will be for quite some time. We've come a long way. There's been a lot of incredible women that have paved the way for us and have propelled us forward. But regardless of that, we still have a long way to go, and it still takes each and every single one of us to get us further, right? So specifically in the entertainment industry, obviously, it was an industry that was dominated by men, like most were. Even in the licensing and merchandising industry, you would be surprised. It's very much still dominated by men. So, what it means to be a woman in this industry, it means that we have to work just as hard, if not harder, right? We have to make our voices heard. We have to speak louder at times than in order to be heard. We have to go the extra mile, even if a man doesn't have to, right? One of the most important things that women can do as of right now is to lift other women up, right? And that goes for every level of the industry, whether you are a clerical, just starting out, your position after college, or whether you are already a SVP. Part of our job as women is to keep lifting other women. I have been very blessed, for lack of another word, to have incredible mentors. There are 3 women in particular in my life that I will forever and always give credit to for lifting me up and other women in the industry. And I'm going to shout them out because they are truly incredible women. Number 1 is Cindy Levitt. She basically created Hot Topic back in 1989. And she is still, to this day, and always will be, one of my absolute biggest mentors. Anytime I need her, she's a phone call away. Anytime that I just need advice or a pick-me-up, she's there. And she's done that for many, many, many other women in the industry, other girls in the industry that are starting out. And I know she will continue to do that. So there's, many times where if I'm writing an email or I'm having a little moment of witnessing some misogyny, which does happen, I say, what would Cindy do? And, and then I either ask her physically what she would do, or I try to channel her energy, because that is very important. And then another woman that I want to shout out is Robin Motz, another one of my mentors from Hot Topic. And she was a mentor for up-and-comers in the industry. That was like her number 1 thing, was always, she had this way of pushing us to reach our full potential. If we weren't, if one of us was kind of being a little lackadaisical or not quite, hitting the mark, then she knew we could get there, right? She knew that we had the ability to do that. And then, of course, I have to shout out Terry Luberoff from Legion M, our CEOO and legal counsel and head of development. I mean, she is a force of nature when it comes to being a woman in the entertainment industry, and the things that she has taught me, the ways that she has propelled other females in the industry is a gift, and I'm so thankful and happy to be able to work under her, to learn from her. I have 3 main things that I would suggest to the young generation of women coming up in the industry. Number 1, and this is something that I had to learn, and I had to train out of me, and still I catch myself every now and then doing it, and I have to correct. Never, ever, ever, ever apologize for doing your job. So I read this, a while back in an article, and then I spoke to some of my other colleagues in the industry, and we had big discussions about this because it is a huge problem for women in all industries. So for example, whenever you write an email and you say, just following up, or I just wanted to see what's going on here, or I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but none of that is necessary. You are doing your job. You do not need to apologize for following up with somebody who has not answered your email yet and you need them to get back to you. That is something that inherently they should just do, and you should be able to do without feeling like you are bothering somebody. Cutting out, I'm sorry, just following up, all of those things, cut them out of your vocabulary because it doesn't need to happen. You're doing your job. Don't apologize for it. Another thing that I always tell women, always dress to feel confident. However, you need to dress for who you are as well, right? Whether dressing modestly is your thing, dress modestly. If dressing with a V-neck on or a low-cut shirt, a shorter dress makes you feel confident, that should be okay, right? Because again, it goes back to a bigger feminist issue, but your body is yours. And whatever makes you feel confident is how you should be dressing. But at the same time, always dress for the job you want. That is 100% true. And also it makes you feel more confident, right? Like even if you are a clerical, even if you are in an admin position just out of college, but your goal is this, dress for this, because they're going to see you as that. Don't come to work in PJs, but also don't feel like you need to hide your body or dress in a way that is not who you are. Dress however makes you feel confident, comfortable, and professional, period. One more thing that I always tell people is, as women, sometimes we feel like we have to be told to do something, right? Sometimes we feel like we have to be given an agenda or told that we can go reach out to this person or do something in our job that not necessarily might be in the job description all the time. If you feel like you need to get something done, you don't need to ask permission. Go do it, right? I mean, of course there are lines, of course there are things, there are procedures, but within a purview of responsibility, go do your job however you feel like you need to do it best. You don't need to ask permission. You don't need to wait to be told. Take the initiative and go do your job the best of your ability.